Welcome to Relaxing History. Leave all the noise and the rush of the day outside the door. Now, take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and let your mind float through the dusty but fascinating pages of history. Tonight, we embark on a peaceful journey among the shadows of the past. If you are ready, let's unlock time. Chapter 1 of 3: The Wooden Factory in the Snow. This night, we are traveling to a quiet corner of New Jersey, to a place called Menlo Park. The year is 1879. It is late December. The nights are long and dark. The countryside is buried under snow. It stretches out for miles, rolling white hills under a moonless sky. The wind is howling through the bare branches of the oak trees. Whoosh, whoosh. It is a bitter cold, the kind that freezes breath instantly. But in the middle of this white emptiness, there is a building, a long, two-story wooden structure. It looks like a barn or a schoolhouse, but it is neither. It is the Invention Factory, the laboratory of Thomas Edison. We walk through the snow towards the building. The windows are glowing, not with the flickering, bluish light of gas, but with a steady, warm, golden light. It spills out onto the snow, creating pools of honey-colored warmth. We reach the front porch. We stomp the snow off our boots. Thump, thump. We open the heavy wooden door, creak, and step inside. The cold is instantly gone, replaced by a wave of heat. The air inside is thick and rich. It smells of the future. It smells of cut pine wood, of machine oil, of pipe tobacco, and a sharp, clean scent. The smell of ozone. Thomas Edison is walking through the ground floor. He is a man of energy, but tonight, the energy is calm, focused. He is wearing a rumpled suit, covered in chalk dust and oil stains. A silk handkerchief is tied loosely around his neck. He walks with his hands in his pockets, his thumbs hooking the fabric. He walks past the rows of shelves. They are floor to ceiling, filled with thousands of bottles, glass jars of every shape and size, chemicals from Germany, rare metals from Russia, fibers from the Amazon jungle. He runs his hand along a shelf, his fingers trailing over the glass. Clink, clink, clink. It is a library of matter, and he knows every single jar. The laboratory is quiet. Most of the muckers, his loyal team of assistants, are resting. Some are napping on benches. Some are reading in the corner. It is the midnight lunch hour. A tradition here, when the work stops and they eat and tell stories and play music. Edison walks to the back of the room. There is a pipe organ there, a massive musical instrument tucked between the drill presses and the lathes. Someone is playing softly, just a few chords, a slow, melancholic tune. The sound of the organ pipes fills the wooden room. It vibrates through the floorboards. The wood of the building seems to sing along. Edison stops. He leans against a wooden pillar. He listens. He is partially deaf. Like Beethoven, he hears the world differently. He feels the low notes in his chest. The music is soothing. It slows down his racing mind. It tells him that for a moment, he doesn't need to solve the problem. He just needs to be. He looks at the pot-bellied stove nearby. It is made of cast iron, glowing red at the bottom. He walks over to it. He opens the door. Screech. He tosses in a lump of coal. Clatter. Sparks fly up. The fire roars gratefully. The heat wraps around him like a heavy blanket. He feels safe here. Outside, the world is dark and cold. But inside Menlo Park, the lights are on. The fire is burning. And the magic is brewing. He takes a deep breath of the oily, woodsy air. He is ready to go upstairs, to the heart of the experiment. Chapter 2 of 3, The Falling Mercury and the Captured Star. Thomas Edison places his hand on the wooden banister. It is rough, hewn oak. He climbs the stairs to the second floor. Creak, creak, step. The staircase is narrow, leading up into the shadows. He reaches the top. The second floor is a vast open space. It runs the entire length of the building. It looks like a wizard's attic. Long wooden tables stretch from one end to the other. They are covered in a jungle of wires. Copper coils wrapped in green silk. Batteries in glass jars filled with blue liquid. Galvanometers with delicate needles waiting to move. The room is dimly lit, but there is a sound here. A very specific, rhythmic sound that defines the nights at Menlo Park. Click, drop, click, drop. It is the sound of the Sprengel pumps. Edison walks towards the sound. He approaches a tall wooden rack against the wall. Mounted on the rack are complex systems of glass tubes, vertical tubes, twisted tubes, bulbs and valves. Inside the glass, liquid metal is moving. Mercury. It is heavy. Silver. Dense. Edison watches the process. It is gravity doing the work. A drop of mercury falls from a reservoir at the top. It travels down a thin glass tube. As it falls, it traps a tiny bubble of air from the light bulb connected to the system. It pushes the air out into a beaker at the bottom. Plip. Plop. Drop by drop. Bubble by bubble. It is a painfully slow process. It takes hours to empty the air from a single bulb, but it is the only way to create a perfect vacuum, to create a nothingness where the light can live. Edison stands there, mesmerized by the falling silver. He watches a single drop form. It swells, heavy and round. Then it detaches. Drip. It slides down the glass, taking a microscopic piece of the atmosphere with it. The rhythm is steady. like a clock made of liquid metal. Tick-Tock. It is the heartbeat of the laboratory, a soothing, mechanical lullaby. Edison checks the gauge. The vacuum is almost perfect. The bulb is ready. He moves to the testing table. Sitting in the center of the table is the object. It does not look like a modern light bulb. It is a hand-blown glass globe, imperfect, with a small point at the top where the glass blower sealed it. Inside, suspended on two thin platinum wires, is the filament. It is a hairpin, a loop of carbonized cotton thread. It is black, thin as a spider's web, and incredibly fragile. Edison holds his breath as he leans in. You cannot sneeze near this table. You cannot bump it. If the filament breaks, weeks of work are lost. He treats it with more reverence than a diamond. He picks up the connecting wires, heavy copper wires insulated with cloth. He attaches them to the base of the stand. Twist, twist. The connection is made. He sits down on a high wooden stool. Scrape. He rests his elbows on the table. He rests his chin in his hands. He looks at the dark glass globe. He reaches for the rheostat. The dimmer switch, a large wooden dial with brass contacts. He turns it, just a fraction. Click. Current flows from the batteries downstairs, up the wires, into the vacuum. The black thread inside the glass begins to change. First, it turns a dull, deep red, like a dying ember. He turns the dial again. Click. The red brightens. It becomes orange, the color of a sunset. He turns it one more time. Click. And there it is. The filament ignites. It turns a brilliant, steady yellow, a rich golden amber. It does not flash. It does not flicker like a candle in the wind. It does not hiss like a gas lamp. It is silent, absolutely silent. It is a loop of pure light, floating in the void of the glass. Edison stares at it. The light reflects in his eyes. Two tiny golden horseshoes glowing in his pupils. The light casts a soft, warm glow over the table. It illuminates the dust motes in the air, turning them into gold dust. It lights up his hands, stained with oil and carbon, now bathed in the gentle radiation of his own creation. He does not move. This is the death watch. He must watch the bulb to see how long it lasts. An hour? 2 hours? All night? He settles in. He looks at the light. It is soft on the eyes, not harsh or white like the lights of the future. It is the color of fire, but without the smoke. Bottled sunshine, he thinks. The shadows in the corners of the room are pushed back, but gently. The amber light creates a circle of intimacy, a safe zone. He listens to the silence of the electric light. For thousands of years, humans have lived with fire that makes noise. Wood crackles, oil sputters, gas whistles. But this is the light of the stars, brought down to earth. It just is. The Sprengel pump continues in the background. Drip. Click. Drip. Click. The mercury keeps time. The amber loop keeps burning. Edison feels his shoulders drop. The tension of the invention leaves him. Now, it is just observation. He is the guardian of the light. He watches the loop of carbon. It looks solid, unwavering. A tiny bridge of matter holding back the darkness. The heat from the bulb warms the air around the table. Edison feels the warmth on his face. It is hypnotic, staring into the center of the glow. The world outside the snow, the wind, the cold, ceases to exist. There is only the table, the glass, and the amber. He feels a profound sense of calm. The calm of a problem solved. The calm of a stable circuit. The calm of the light. Chapter 3 of 3. The Cot, the Clock, and the Eternal Glow. Thomas Edison sits on the high stool for a moment longer, watching the bulb. It has been burning for hours. The carbon filament is strong. The vacuum is holding. He rubs his eyes with his knuckles. The adrenaline of the discovery is fading, replaced by a heavy, warm wave of fatigue. He knows he should go home to the main house. But the snow is deep outside, and the bulb needs a guardian. He decides to stay, to sleep here, in the heart of the machine. He slides off the stool. His boots hit the floorboards with a heavy thud. Thud. He stretches his arms. His back cracks. The sound echoes in the large, wooden room. He looks around. The lab is mostly dark now. The gas lamps were turned off hours ago. The only light comes from the single electric bulb on the table and the faint red glow of the stove downstairs leaking through the floor grates. He walks to a quiet corner of the room. Underneath the shelves of chemicals, there is a small cot here, a simple canvas folding bed, or sometimes just a wide wooden bench. Tonight, he chooses the bench. It is sturdy, solid oak. He begins to build his nest. This is an art form for Edison. He gathers the heavy wool coats of his assistants. They are hanging on pegs nearby. He piles them onto the bench. They smell of the lab, sharp chemicals, pine sawdust, stale tobacco smoke, and rain. To Edison, this is a comforting smell. It is the smell of work, the smell of family. He takes a large buffalo robe, a heavy fur blanket used for carriage rides in winter. He lays it over the coats. The fur is thick and coarse, deep brown. It retains the heat incredibly well. He smooths it out with his hands. Swish, swish. The bed is ready. He loosens his tie. He takes off his boots. He places them neatly by the bench. He lies down. The bench is hard, but the layers of wool and fur cushion him. He pulls the buffalo robe up to his chin. The weight of the fur is immense. It presses him down, anchoring him. He wiggles his shoulders, settling into the pile of coats. Finding the shape of his body, in the makeshift mattress. From where he lies, he can still see the table. He can still see the bulb. It glows like a small moon in the darkness. The amber light is steady. It does not dance. It watches him back. It is the perfect nightlight, a beacon of safety in the dark winter. The room is silent, but it is a textured silence. Edison focuses on the sound of the wall clock. It is a large regulator clock with a heavy brass pendulum. Tick is less than #0. 5# is greater than. Tock. Tick. Tock. The pendulum swings slowly, counting the seconds of the new age. It is a slow, mechanical heartbeat. Edison breathes in time with the clock. In. Tick. Out. Tock. He listens to the wind outside. It is still howling around the eaves of the building. Oh! It rattles the window frames gently. Rattle. But the storm cannot get in. The double-paned glass holds it back. The contrast makes him feel warmer. The colder the wind blows, the cozier the buffalo robe feels. He closes his eyes, but the image of the filament is burned into his retina. A glowing horseshoe, floating in the dark. He sees the wires running through the walls, like veins, carrying the energy. He imagines the current flowing from the batteries. Silent, invisible, powerful. His mind begins to drift. The problems of the day dissolve. The broken filaments, the failed vacuums, the cracked glass. They are all in the past. Now, there is only the success, the light. He feels the vibration of the floorboards. Maybe it's a distant train passing through New Jersey. Or maybe it's just the settling of the heavy machinery. It hums through the wood, into the bench, into his spine. It is a lullaby of industry. He pulls one hand out from under the covers. He rests it on the wooden edge of the bench. His fingers are stained with carbon, but they are relaxed now. The Wizard of Menlo Park is resting his magic. The clock continues its slow march. Tick. Tock. The mercury pump drips in the distance. Plip. Plop. Edison feels his body getting heavy, sinking into the wool. The smell of the tobacco fades. The smell of the ozone fades. There is only the warmth and the rhythm. He is safe in his factory. The invention works. The light will burn all night. He doesn't need to check it. He trusts it, drifting under the amber glow, into the silence, into the future. Sleep.